Hi, I am Dr. Martin. I'm an audiologist. You guys seem to really like my videos, so I wanted to make more. I feel like the hearing healthcare industry is really confusing right now, and trust me, I get it. I see it. All of those advertisements that you see on your phone, they're popping up on my phone too. There is a flood of misinformation out there. And most of us, we don't say anything about it because, number one, we don't want to look unprofessional. Number two, liability. Anyone can sue at any time. And it's just scary. It's just scary to talk about. So I'm going to do my best to give you clear answers from an audiologist. Keep in mind, I have a doctorate degree in audiology. I studied it. I participated in research. I do have this knowledge. So I'm going to just do my best to help you guys understand what's going on. So today I want to talk about over-the-counter hearing aids. That's what we're going to talk about. Are they a good option? Are they a viable option? Should you choose them? Are they safe? Everything. Well, over-the-counter hearing aids, they were signed, officially legalized by our federal government in 2019, and they did not officially hit the market until 2022. So that is why you're seeing a lot of advertisements now. Started in 2022. And here's what I think about that. I think that the people who officially legalized this are not healthcare providers. And the official statement is that over-the-counter hearing aids are good for mild to moderate hearing losses. I want to be very clear that just because that is the legal definition, that doesn't mean that that is my definition as a provider. So as a provider, we are bound by what is called evidence-based practice. And meaning we do not make recommendations unless it has been studied ethically and peer-reviewed and proven that this works. We don't just guess. We are knowledgeable. And with what I know about hearing aids and how they are programmed and the prescription in them, I just do not think that that is a functional option. I think that a lot of people buy over-the-counter hearing aids. They don't know what to do with them. They have no way of measuring the accuracy if the prescription is even correct. And a lot of people, they end up buying them, not using them, shoving them in their cupboard or in a drawer and never touching them again. And then a couple years later, they buy another pair, same thing. And then a couple years later, they finally give up and they buy the real deal. So per to say. So it's just, these are important questions to ask. I have not done research on every single aspect. I mean, there are way too many companies for me to do research on every single one of them because a bajillion companies all of a sudden sell hearing aids. But I am here to give you the questions that you need to be asking so that you can make the most informed decision. So professionally speaking, I do not recommend over-the-counter hearing aids to any of my patients. If they do need a more affordable option, I have one in the clinic. At the moment, right now, it's $1,700, and for the pair, and the fitting. And so we go with that because I'm able to do the appropriate prescription, the appropriate measures, the appropriate settings, all of that. And then you also get the added benefit of long-term care. So we opt to do that. But that's not to say, I mean, you can choose to have an over-the-counter hearing aid. You can absolutely choose to do that if you want to. But most of the time, they are not made by a medical device company. They're made by a tech company, right? And so that's one difference. Prescription hearing aids, medical device company. Over-the-counter hearing aids are made by like Apple, Bose, these random tech companies. So that's one difference. And then a lot of people too, they compare over-the-counter hearing aids to readers, like that you buy from the grocery store for your eyes. And I think that they are very different, and I'm going to give you the reason. Number one, readers, you are only supposed to be wearing when you're reading. Like it's not meant to replace your daily eyewear. It's just for a quick thing. Even with a mild hearing loss, you need to be wearing hearing aids all day, every day. Like you do. That is what you're supposed to be wearing. That is the equivalent to a prescription for your eyes. So that's the difference. OTC hearing aids, it's not the same thing. You don't just wear them for a quick fix when you need it and then you don't wear them all the time. You do wear them all the time. Number two, another reason they're different is because over-the-counter eyeglasses, readers, you can visibly see if they work or they're not working. It's tangible. You know what I mean? Our hearing is not. In fact, so many people have a hearing loss and they don't even know because it's so far intangible. Like the patient has no awareness. And this is why it is very important for the professional to be the one to manage the care because it's intangible. It's not something that you can see or know off the bat. Does this work or does this not work? So a situation where, you might put a OTC hearing aid on and you're like, oh, it's working, I can hear. Keep in mind, there are different ratios. So every hearing loss is different and every frequency is going to need a different level of amplification. And so even if you can hear louder, that doesn't mean it's at prescription. And so there are situations where you can be over amplified, so where it's too loud and it can potentially cause more damage, or where it's under amplified in certain areas. So maybe it sounds like it's louder, but there's maybe in the high frequencies, it's actually not at your prescription enough. And that, I mean, technically speaking, that can cause long-term effects because our brain is plastic. And so when you have that auditory pathway, the quality of the stimulation does matter. Research proves that. Remember, evidence-based practice. And so really, if you have an improperly fit device, that stimulation is being fed into your brain 24/7. And research does prove it's important for it to be accurate. And if it's not, then that's causing distortion. So those are just a few reasons why over-the-counter hearing aids are not the same thing as over-the-counter eyeglasses readers. I feel like, I hope this translates well, because I understand the complexities of hearing aids and hearing loss. And unless I educate you for 4 years, it's really hard to explain all the nuances. That's why it is such a heavy degree. And just something for you to be aware of is just because our government legalizes something and says that it's okay, that doesn't mean that it all of a sudden changes all of the research and the professional recommendation. So over-the-counter hearing aids were legalized. Sure. Yes, they were. But I am bound by evidence-based practice. I am bound by what is right for the patient, and I am bound by my knowledge and what I know. And so I don't recommend over-the-counter hearing aids. I don't. And you know what? I don't know enough about them. Some of these companies are 1 year old? And I don't trust that there's going to be the appropriate level of amplification. And more so, I have even seen situations where someone bought the best prescription hearing aid, but the provider who they chose didn't really know what they were doing. And it was still like unhealthy for them. And so that is why, first and foremost, the most important decision is the provider you choose. Not OTC or not, like we're not even talking about the type of hearing aid. It's the provider. And so that's an added benefit is, if you go with the $1,700 option with a provider, you are in so much better hands. I know this is a hot take. I really don't like conflict. I really don't want to get into it. I don't like it. That's not my thing. My thing is I'm really good at what I do, and I just want to help people. But unfortunately, this is the world that we are in. And there are so many advertisements. I see them, and a lot of the advertisements I see are people lying. I have seen one hearing aid company, an OTC hearing aid company, they created an AI-generated person claiming that they were a doctor and telling people that, oh, you don't need prescription hearing aids. You just, and I'm a doctor, so I tell all my patients that they just go buy OTC hearing aids. And it's not even a real person. And it's disgusting. It's really misleading. And we can do our best to talk about it, but those companies, they have a lot more money than we do, and they have bigger platforms than we do. And so that makes it hard. And I don't like it. I don't like that anyone can pay money to just lie to patients and completely flip an entire industry upside down. So this video has ended up a lot longer than I expected, but I just wanted to share the information and the knowledge that I have. And also, I understand sometimes some people just want to purchase something online and not see anyone and try it out. I'm not here to shame you if that's what you want to do. By all means, you go for it. But really just the best recommendation that I can make is find a provider in your area who you trust. That is the most important step above everything. And we're the ones who went to school for 8 years. We're the ones with the knowledge, the evidence-based practice, and we genuinely care about your health. A lot of these big companies, they are just trying to make money, even by lying, by means of lying. We are not doing that. So yeah, just find a provider who you trust, and all good things will flow from that. Okay, well, best of luck to you. I'll continue to make videos. Please be nice to me. I like to remind you, I'm just a human. So just because, maybe you have a different opinion than I do not subscribe to being attacked on the internet. I am an individual and with a big heart and just a goal to help people. And if someone disagrees with what I have to say, our politicians, hey, I'm more than happy to collaborate, right? But I think the problem right now is like the providers are being ignored, even though we're the ones with the education and the knowledge. So, best of luck to you all. And if you like my content and you want to help me out, like this video, subscribe, and I'll continue to make more videos. Okay, bye-bye.